guys, it's me, Takani, and today we are recapping the final episode of Southern Charm Savannah, Season 1, Episode 8, Engagement Rings and Petty Things. We start the episode with Catherine at Brandon's house drinking wine and eating cheese. Brandon says it seems like design isn't really Catherine's passion, and Catherine agrees. Catherine then talks about all the weight that her family puts on her shoulders, and how they expected her to be successful, just like everyone else's. Then she talks about wanting to find herself and find her passions. Catherine says that she'll be ready to marry Lyle soon, but they've only been officially together for a year, and he just moved to Savannah 2 months ago. We then cut to Lyle at Catherine's house, and he is asking for her dad's blessing. Her dad agrees and her mom agrees, and they are super excited for Lyle to propose to Catherine. Lyle then talks about how they went to prom 16 years ago and that they've been together for 16 years, so it's time for him to propose. I think it's interesting that he looks at it as they've been together for 16 years and she looks at it as they've only been together for 1 year. I think they clearly need to talk about their relationship. It's surprising to me that they didn't know this about each other, and now Lyle's gonna propose to her. Later, we'll learn that they didn't even talk finances or anything. It's just a big old mess. When Hannah comes over to Louie's apartment, she mentions that she's absolutely exhausted from the weekend and the party. Louie then decides to boast about how much he did at the party and how Hannah shouldn't be tired at all, as if Hannah didn't do the whole thing. We all saw it, Louie. You didn't do much. Hannah and Louie get into a little argument, and Hannah tells him that he needs to pull his own weight and that he needs to grow up. Louie immediately gets defensive. And then he goes on a tangent about how no one's perfect. Not him, not Hannah, nobody. And she has ridiculously high expectations. Hannah then tells Louie that he needs to grow up and he needs to make changes in their relationship. And he goes on about how he's been making changes. And she just refuses to recognize it. He then agrees that he'll do better, and then they make up. Catherine, Hannah, and Happy meet up to buy some masquerade ball masks for the fundraiser ball that Ashley is hosting to help Savannah recover from Hurricane Matthew. While they're shopping and talking, we cut to Ashley on the phone with her mom. She says that she found a place for her and Izzy, and that she's gonna end her marriage with Dennis. Ashley then arrives to her venue, and while she's setting up, Daniel meets up with Lyle and Louie. First, Lyle and Daniel talk about when Louie will be ready to marry Hannah. And Louie says that Hannah's the one that's holding them back. He's been ready. Then Lyle says that he has a master plan for him and Catherine. But as he talks about it, he's really vague and doesn't answer if he bought the ring or not, which I'm assuming means he did. Daniel then talks about his love life and how he feels lonely, and he wants what they have. He also wonders if his life would have been different if he didn't come back home, and he stayed in Colorado. Everyone's getting ready for the masquerade ball, and Lyle is sweating like a hoe in church. While Catherine's getting ready, Lyle makes a remark about how her apartment isn't big enough for both of them, and she retorts, "Well, good thing it's just for me." She continues getting ready, and Lyle goes downstairs and calls Hannah and Louie. He tells them that he's proposing to Catherine tonight, and he wants everyone to meet them at the restaurant on the water to celebrate after he proposes. He tells them that everyone's gonna think it's a birthday party, but he's hoping that it's gonna be an engagement party. I think it's strange that he chose this night to propose when Ashley's doing her masquerade fundraiser for Hurricane Matthew. Like, he couldn't just wait another day. I guess it's probably because he just wanted to make sure this got filmed. In my opinion, he should have proposed privately and then went to the masquerade after. And then they could have celebrated after the party. None of them even told Ashley that they're gonna be late, or potentially not even show up. As Lyle and Catherine are walking to a boat, he tries to stop her to have a serious conversation. Catherine says that Lyle's acting weird, and she just keeps saying no. I think she knows what's about to happen, and she really doesn't want it to. Lyle then tells her to join him on the boat away from the cameras, and he straight up asks her to marry him, and she says no. It's clear that she wasn't ready, and in her confessional, she said that they haven't even discussed finances, or how they would raise their kids, or what kind of house they want to live in. She said she was completely caught off guard, and didn't think he was going to propose to her. After that sad rejection, we cut to Happy, Azam, Daniel, Louie, and Hannah at the surprise party, waiting for Lyle and Catherine, the engaged couple, to show up. Lyle said that they would be there at 6 p.m., and since Catherine said no, things got a little off schedule. So 6 p.m. comes and goes. Then it's 7 p.m., and 7 p.m. comes and goes. 8 p.m. arrives, and they're still not there. Daniel suggests that they go to the ball, but Hannah, thinking that Catherine just got engaged, doesn't want to miss their engagement. Lyle and Catherine finally show up at the party, and they try to play it off as this party's just a surprise party. As they're pulling up on the dock, Louie yells out, "Show me your ring!" But Louie, there's no ring. After they get into the party, Happy asks Catherine about the ring, And she's like, no, there's no ring. This is just a birthday party, a surprise birthday party. Lyle decides to leave Catherine's birthday party and goes for a little drive around the neighborhood to clear his thoughts. Now we cut to Ashley's fundraiser, and everything looks amazing. Nelson and his girlfriend show up, but no one else does. Ashley expresses her annoyance to Nelson, and she's disappointed that her friends bailed on her. So she calls Daniel to see where he is, and he explains that he had to stop at another party. And then he asks if they could still come by or if the party's over. She replies that it ends at 9 p.m. and that's it. It's over. Well, 9 p.m. rolls around, and she's waiting at the entrance with a cigarette in her hand. First, Happy and Azam pull up, and she yells at them that the party's over. They're too late, and they're not welcome there. Happy tries to explain that she thought her friend was getting engaged, and she's sorry for being late, but Ashley won't hear it. So after a bit more arguing, Azam and Happy leave. Then we cut to Ashley waiting in the parking lot, and Daniel, Hannah, and Louie all show up. Hannah tries to explain that Lyle said he was proposing to Catherine, and that she needed to be there for her friend. They apologize for arriving late and offer to help clean up, but Ashley just tells them to leave. We cut to 1 week later, and Ashley calls her mom to make sure that she picked up Izzy. She tells him to keep him as long as she can, because she's going to have a talk with Dennis. We end the episode on Ashley telling Dennis that she doesn't want to be married to him anymore. And he replies, well, divorce me then. And then that's it. And that's the end of the episode. That's the end of season 1, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this recap of Southern Charm Savannah. What did you think of the whole season? Are you kind of annoyed that they didn't just show up to the masquerade party? I mean, they waited like 3 hours after, which is crazy to me. I probably would have left after an hour. Make sure you like or dislike the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys!